Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Emily. Thank you for spending time with us tonight. So I'm here with Morgan and Katie. And what we're going to do is we're going to go over the Green Compass company story, and we're going to talk about the products, and then we're going to talk about the opportunity. So if you're just getting on here, just make sure you mute yourself, and then in the chat, say hi and let us know where you're from and who invited you. Okay. All right, so a little bit about me. So I'm a wife and I'm a mom of two. I'm originally from Springfield, Illinois. And right now I'm an elementary art teacher out in Loveland, Colorado. And now I'm a CBD advocate too. So I'm just like adding one more thing to my resume. Never thought I would be talking to people about CBD, what it is, but it just kind of happened. So I'll tell you about that. So I live in Colorado, like I said, and I have two kids. And when I had my son 3 years ago, I went through a little bit of postpartum anxiety. I have a history of it, and no one talks about postpartum anxiety. Everyone talks about postpartum depression. So it wasn't really something on my radar. So the long story is that I had tried CBD and I had a couple failed attempts and thought that my issues were too big for CBD. So when I saw Morgan posting about it, oh, my son just walked in. Max, you need to go downstairs. When I saw Morgan posting about it in the spring, I was intrigued because I saw that it was a USDA organic company, and I'd never heard of USDA organic CBD. In fact, like when I went to the dispensary to pick mine up, like it looked sketchy, but I just trusted the process. Yeah, babe, can you come get him? You need to go downstairs. So anyways, I said, I'll try it. I don't think it's going to work, but she encouraged me to try it, and because we have the 30-day money back guarantee. So I was pleasantly surprised when it worked for me. Not only did it help my anxiety, but I slept better than I ever had in my life. And I also have a history of insomnia. So it was kind of like, worked more ways than I was expecting. So what happened was, I joined the company 2 weeks later, and I was joining the company because the products work so well for me that I wanted to share with close family and friends and maybe earn my products for free, but it ended up becoming a full blown, here I am sharing with a bunch of people. So it's been really awesome. And I want to tell you a little bit about Meredith's story. So our company is family owned, and our CBD was created out of a mother's love for her child. So this was a story that this really resonated with me because of what I was going through. So Meredith first heard of CBD when she became a new mom. She wasn't herself, just like me. She was having difficulty getting out of bed in the morning. Her brother is the one that introduced her to CBD. She quickly fell in love, and that fog was lifted. She saw the benefits, and then she went on the hunt for quality CBD for her kids. One of her boys, when he was a little bit older, was having some focus issues. When she got online and started looking around for some CBD for her kids, she was not feeling comfortable with what she was finding. So she just kind of realized that not all CBD is created equal. And so what happened was Meredith and her husband, Sterling, they ended up linking arms with the Wooten brothers, and they have been in the farming industry for 25 plus years. So the rest is history. Green Compass was born. Okay. So what sets us apart in CBD industry is that we have higher standards for both the quality and product and compliance. So we have a commitment to being a trusted name in the CBD industry. 80% of the CBD on the market in the US actually comes over here from China. And what happens is in China, they use CBD to clean their air, and CBD also cleans the soil. So what happens is it actually will pull out any toxins, heavy metals. That's why it's really important that pesticides are not used on the hemp. And so you have this contaminated CBD that's being shipped over from China for a very cheap cost, and it's being white labeled and sold in the US. So that's why when you have a bottle and you're really trying to figure out what's really in it, it's probably being white labeled. We have 6th generation farmers that are a part of a corporate team located in North Carolina. Our farmers obtained one of the very first licenses in the North Carolina hemp pilot program. They spent years cultivating a mother hemp plant to make quality CBD. We have a U.S. Hemp Authority seal of approval, and we are certified USDA organic, and that is an industry rarity. We are also vertically integrated. So that means that we have control over everything from the hemp seed to the bottle being shipped to your door. We are completely farm to family. So that's a little bit about our company. Sorry about my interruption. I got a little, he wasn't supposed to come up here, obviously. But now Morgan is going to talk with you about our CBD products. And so I'll let you take over now.
All right. Thanks, Emily. I think that just goes to show you that we literally work this business in the nooks and crannies of our lives, because you do have kids running around. So it just shows real life. So my name's Morgan Hooper. I live in Fayetteville, North Carolina. I'm originally from the Midwest, went to school with Emily. And a little bit about me. I'm a wife. I'm a mom of 4. I'm a clinical nurse liaison with a big infusion company, so my plate is full. And how I ended up here with CBD presenting to you guys is back in February, I ended up having a major surgery. And I thought I was going to be strong and be able to be back in 2 weeks. And that just was not reality at all. I was barely able to stand. I was in so much pain. And so while I was sitting there bored watching Netflix in my recliner, I started Googling other, pain alternatives. And I had heard of CBD before. I had tried it in the past, and it just really wasn't for me. I did not get the results that other people had spoke about. So, I started Googling it some more, and Green Compass kept coming about. Well, my neighbor, she knew somebody that sold it. And so we linked arms and we talked about the quality of the product. We talked about the business and everything like that. So I just jumped in head first. Haven't regretted it one day. I also looked to some of my mentors in the social selling world, and both of them said it's definitely the highest quality CBD and it's such a high quality business. So what ended up being something that was difficult in my life, I ended up finding CBD, and then here I am now talking about this opportunity. So I get to talk to you guys a little bit about the science behind CBD and the endocannabinoid system in the product. So this is, being a nurse, this is really kind of what interests me the most. But what is CBD? So for some of you that are unaware of what CBD is, it stands for cannabidiol, okay? It is one of the compounds that is found within the cannabis plant. So you have the cannabis species, and within the cannabis species, you have the hemp plant, and you also have the marijuana plant. So a lot of people get this confused, and they think that, CBD is going to get you high, and that is not the case. So hemp is very high in CBD, which has the great health benefits to it, and then low in THC. And marijuana is high in THC and low in CBD. That is what gives you those psychoactive effects. All right. So we always like to use the analogy that, obviously you have a grape, and you can get wine from the grape, and you also can get grape juice from the grape. So that's a good analogy on how to think about it. So how does CBD work within our body? So back in the 90s, they discovered a system called the endocannabinoid system. It has the most receptors in our entire body, from head to toe, inside out. It is lined on all of our systems. It's a system kind of within a system. And so receptors all over your body. You guys will have to Google it. It's amazing. They're talking about how now next year they're going to start putting this in the textbooks for nurses and for doctors to learn about, because it's truly a system that we have to take care of now. So how CBD works is when you ingest it, put it on your skin, however form you want to take it, method of administration. What happens is, think of your body like a parking lot, okay? You've got empty spaces that need filled. So when you ingest the CBD is going to go find where that missing space is. It's going to park there, and it's going to bring your body back to homeostasis, okay? So it's something whether you have an ailment with sleep, depression, anxiety, Crohn's, you have like inflammation within your gut. That's what CBD is going to help with. It's going to go to wherever your body needs it and fill that receptor in and bring you back to homeostasis. So don't think of this as something like a vice, something else that, oh, I got to take this to feel better. Your body needs this. This is a system that you want to replenish. And what happens is we have naturally producing cannabinoids anyways. And so when we're lacking in those, you want to ingest the plant CBD to replace it. Okay, so that's a little bit about CBD and the endocannabinoid system. So I get to talk to you about our awesome products. I'm going to start off by talking about the oils. Okay, so tinctures, oils, these are the bread and butter of any CBD company. Okay, but kind of what sets our company aside is that we have a different carrier oil than most. We use an MCT oil. And one thing I noticed right off the bat with this is that the oil absorbs so quickly into your bloodstream until your saliva glands. It's a very clear oil. A lot of other companies do not use this oil, but for us, this is what works. So we have 3 different tinctures that you can choose from, okay? A lot of companies will use the full spectrum oil. Full spectrum is the entire hemp plant with the legal amount of THC in it. So in 2018, the Farm Bill was passed for us to have 0.03% THC and CBD. That is what full spectrum is. So think full flower with all the compounds, including the THC, all right? Then our company also does the broad spectrum oil, which is the entire benefit of the full flower. However, we extract the THC, okay? As a nurse, this is what I take. I get drug tests. So this is something that, you know, for me, I feel a little bit safer taking the broad spectrum. One thing I wanted to know is on our bottles, we have a QR code. This company is very, very transparent. We want you to know what's in the CBD. This is a wild, wild west right now. It's very unregulated, like Emily said. And so we put a QR code on every single product that we have so you can see the compounds are in it and if the THC is extracted. The other oil that we have is called an isolate, and this is just pure CBD. There's no other terpenes, there's no other cannabinoids in it. Some people that are just really paranoid about taking this, they'll take an isolate or they'll also give it to your children, okay? So that is absorbed under your tongue. The other oils that we have is our boost items, okay? And the boost items are terpene essential oil blends. They're USDA certified organic as well. And what it does is it literally does exactly what it says. It boosts the effects of CBD in your body. It's a synergistic effect that boosts the results. You can take these alone. However, you'll see better results with the CBD. Now, we have a sleep boost, which is my favorite. We have an immunity boost, which obviously our world's in the middle of a pandemic. Immunity boost is wonderful. We also have a metabolism boost, which is great for people who have a lot of inflammation in their gut, a lot of bloating, people who are trying to stop smoking, you know, to help with their appetite. And then they also have a pain boost. So those are absolutely wonderful. I go through those very quickly. You can take them up to 2 to 3 times a day. All right, next up is our edibles, okay? People love edibles. So what sets this aside, ours are called nano jellies, all right? The ones on the market are called gummies. We had to name them something different because they are different. And so what happened was our company came up with nanotechnology, which is proprietary to Green Compass. Our chemist was able to nanosize the CBD. So naturally, when you ingest a gummy, you are going to lose majority of CBD. So you're going to notice that those gummies are dosed really high, okay? Because they have to be, because they're losing the CBD as they're ingested. Where they made ours water soluble and they nanosized the CBD. So you are actually getting a higher absorption rate. You're getting 95% absorption rate. And what's great about these is people who, they want to take the full spectrum. They want to do the THC. A lot of people actually have better results with these because the amount of CBD that's actually absorbed into their body. These are also safe for your kids. So my kids take them every morning, like a Flintstone gummy, but they, you know, take their CBD vitamin. And we also just came out with 2 different flavors. So we have the limoncello, and then we have the nano jellies, which are elderberry. Okay. And elderberry is huge. The last couple of years, everyone's wanting to ingest elderberry for immunity. Then they also have mushrooms in them. Mushrooms are really good for an anti-inflammatory, and they're very good for heart health. I personally have high cholesterol. I try to, you know, I try to get under control with diet and exercise. I've got bad genetics. And so this is really good for me because it's going to help lower my bad cholesterol. Put them in the fridge. They're a family favorite. All right. So next I want to talk about some of our topicals. Okay. So like I said, you have receptors from head to toe, inside and out. So your skin has all of these endocannabinoid receptors too. And CBD is a natural anti-inflammatory. All right. So we have a reduced pain cream, which is what we call icy hot on steroids. Okay. So for those of you that work out, that have a lot of joint pain, this is good for 4 to 6 hours typically. And I think of it like this, it's working from the outside in. If your hamstrings are tight, anything like that, this is good to keep in your purse, and you'll go through it pretty quickly. The other thing that we have is Soothe Natural Body Cream. All right, like I said, and it's a natural anti-inflammatory. So Emily has a great testimony with her baby. She had a lot of redness on her cheeks, and she was using, antibiotic creams, and she put this on, and this is what ultimately worked after spending money on antibiotic cream. People with eczema, psoriasis, bug bites, bee stings, that's good. Okay. So our founder, Meredith, who Emily was talking about earlier, before she was on her CBD journey, she was actually an esthetician. So her heart also belongs to skincare. She came up with an entire skincare line with CBD. It also has some peptides in it, which are great for anti-aging. And then she also came up with some topical rollers. Okay, this can fit in your purse. I know it probably looks big on the screen, but you've got stuff from headaches. I suffer from migraines. I'll put the roller right on my temples and the top of my head. You also have a women's monthly blend, which is good for teenagers. They'll rub it on their lower abdomen when they have cramps. So this is something that's really good just to keep in your pocket, because I swear there's a roller for like everything basically. And a couple other products that we should be proud of is the bug spray. Okay. Bug spray is neurotoxic. It is almost impossible to find a clean bug spray. It's terrible for your kids. And we actually just came out with a USDA certified organic natural buzz insect repellent. We also have chapstick, we have hand sanitizer. And so that's how I want to kind of conclude the products, is that we are truly, truly an innovative company. When I decided to join this, I asked the girl that I joined, like, are you guys innovative? Is this just going to be about CBD oil? Because if it is, I need something more than that. Like, I want to know this company is doing things that other people are not. And within the last 7 months, we have launched 4 to 5 products. And so they're very, very innovative, and there's more to come with CBD and the hemp plant. And also too, take note that we are the only USDA certified organic CBD company that you can partner with. And don't forget too, if you guys have dogs, cats, animals, if they have a spine, they have an endocannabinoid system, and we also have an oil for them. So that is the products. That's endocannabinoid system and CBD. I am going to kick it over to my girl, Katie, and she is going to tell you about the opportunity behind Green Compass.
Hey everyone, good evening. The one product that Morgan didn't talk about that I wanted to is our bath soaks, you guys. I am obsessed with them. Me and my husband, I swear, like fight about them all the time. They are so relaxing, amazing. My kids love them. Super affordable, but one of my favorites, so I had to touch on it. So now that Morgan and Emily have told you a little bit kind of about the background of our company and the bread and butter of our products, I want to touch on the business opportunity and why this business model and why particularly Green Compass. So the founder's original plan was to sell to medical practices, pharmacies, therapists, chiropractors, that type of thing. But what they found was word of mouth started rolling in. People were reaching out to Meredith and Sterling constantly saying, I want to know more. I want to hear more about the products. Give me more information. And the referrals started to pour in. So they decided to dream a little bigger. And why not utilize the power of word of mouth and go into the direct sales market? So that's what they did. Like our shelves do not belong on a shelf. And the power of word of mouth and testimonies is huge, super, super huge. So we get to be the trusted resource to tell our network and let people know about these amazing products. And so that's what our founders did. And they linked arms, and here we are. So a little bit about me. My name is Katie. I'm from Vermont. This business opportunity kind of fell into my lap. I was actually with a different direct sales company for almost 5 years. Really enjoyed the products, enjoyed the business itself. I just felt like my work and how much I put into it wasn't matching what I was getting out of it. So I was comfortable, I was fine, but this Green Compass kept popping up on my social media from some friends of mine, and I just couldn't say no. I was super intrigued. So 9 months in, I'm leading a team of over 150 advocates. Morgan and Emily are two rock star leaders on my team. And they've really hit the ground running. So this business model is truly for anyone, you guys. So a little bit about kind of our numbers. I know a lot of people are numbers people, so I always like to touch on the numbers piece. So in our first initial year, our goal was to do $300,000 in sales, and we did 11.5 million. In year 2, which was just last year, we doubled that. And we were actually just on a leadership call a few weeks ago, and we are trending, you guys, in year 3 to have growth of over 90% from 2020 during a pandemic. I mean, that's crazy growth. The numbers speak volumes, and so do our products. So for those number people, take note on those, because those numbers are record breaking, especially through the last couple of years that we've had. And so a little bit into the direct sales and kind of the background with Green Compass. So I like to tell people, if you're considering direct sales, the 3 things to look for, kind of a direct sales trifecta, are the product, the comp plan, and then the culture and leadership within the company. So to touch on that, the product, is the product something people will use? Yeah, the great thing with CBD is that, like Morgan mentioned, anyone with an endocannabinoid system, so any mammal, can benefit from CBD. You're not targeting certain people, or your grandma, your dog, your sister, your aunt, your uncle, your boyfriend, your cousin. Anyone can benefit from CBD. And I do like to mention, because I feel like this was me prior to actually using CBD, is I didn't think I needed CBD. Like, I didn't feel like I wasn't in a lot of pain. I didn't feel like I had a lot of stress in my life. But you guys, after starting CBD, the first thing that I noticed, and probably because it's the most measurable thing, is sleep. I did not think I had bad sleep, but that was one of the first things I noticed. And I'm a very type A spazzy person. So CBD has really, really calmed me down and made me extremely more patient with my kids and my husband, and everyone, my work family. They would appreciate CBD. But I just kind of want to touch on that, because I feel like a lot of people are like, no, I don't have any of those ailments. Like Morgan mentioned, everyone needs CBD, because your endocannabinoid system needs to be balanced out. It brings us back to homeostasis. So yes, this product is also consumable. So not only is your network going to be using it and enjoying it, they're going to need a refill. So number 2 in that direct sales trifecta is the comp plan. We have people from all walks of life in this business. And we do have a consumable product, meaning, just like I mentioned, when people use it, they want to refill. So every time they're ordering from you, you're making a commission on that. And every time you make a sale, you make commission. If you have a few friends, your aunt, your uncle, that want to join you in business and they make sales, you're making a commission. And it's just a snowball effect from there. And you can, whether or not you want to grow a team or not, you don't have to. This business can be whatever you want it to be. It can be covering your mortgage, covering your shameless shoe fund, covering your car payment, maybe paying your groceries for the month, or could truly replace a full-time income. That's really up to you, and your goals are your goals. So the third thing to consider is the leadership and culture. And this is something that really stood out for me, especially coming from a different direct sales background with another company. The culture, you guys, and the leadership within this company is next to nothing. I think that was one of the big things that was lagging in my previous company, and stepping into Green Compass, there are so many people willing to help you along the way. And especially on this team specifically, we have so many people from different backgrounds that have experience with a ton of different things. It's been truly, truly amazing. In leadership, our leadership team has been in the direct sales world for over 20 years. We have people from different companies who have actually been in direct sales themselves, and now we're at the corporate level. They're constantly pouring into us, constantly setting up trainings. We have a super, super easy onboarding process, and we're there to walk you through the whole piece. So those are kind of the 3 direct sales trifecta when you're considering direct sales to kind of think about. So how it works, if this is something that you're like, hey, I'm super interested, I want to know more, what would be the next steps? So we have a few different business kits for you to consider. And as soon as you pick and select your business kit, your website is live right then. So you're able to start sharing with your friends and family and be that trusted resource. So your goals are your goals. Like I mentioned, if you come to us and say, hey, Katie, my goal is $300 a month, we walk you through how to best get there. If you say, hey, my goal is $5,000 a month, we kind of work backwards and help you get there. The best piece about this business is no stocking products and no shipping products. So that's huge. You don't want to have to be dealing with inventory, mailing things out, worrying about people paying you. You don't have to do any of that. And you have access to $1 billion industry for the price of a Costco trip. So that's a little bit about the business. If the business opportunity is something that you're interested in, certainly please get with the advocate that invited you or reach out to Morgan, Emily, or myself, and we would be happy to answer any questions for you. I'm going to open it up for questions. No question is a stupid question. No question is a silly question. Please ask any and all questions. You can write them in the chat too if you don't want to talk. Open the chat up here. Oh, come on. There's a lot of you on. No one has a question.
We get a lot of questions.
I know.
Times we actually had a lot of questions.
Don't be shy. We don't bite. Dang, rough crowd, y'all.
I'll ask a question. So, because this is a question that, we get a lot.
Yeah.
I have pain or I have anxiety. What do you recommend? Those are my things. What do you recommend, Katie?
So the neat thing with CBD is it goes to wherever your body needs it that particular day. So let's say one day you're sleep deprived and you're super, super stressed. That's where CBD is going within your body. Think of your endocannabinoid system kind of as a parking lot or a Christmas tree. And Emily's parking lot may look a lot different than my parking lot because she has different things going on in her life than I do. So when I take my jelly in the morning, if I'm having a crazy morning and I'm already stressed or I didn't sleep well the last night, that's where that CBD is going. So for pain, that's a neat thing. And then you always want to start with the base of a CBD product. So whether that be broad spectrum or full spectrum, then we look at strength, or I would definitely pair that with our pain boost and our reduce cream. So those, the neat thing with CBD is it goes to wherever your specific body needs it. And that's kind of the awesome science behind it. I mean, I had no idea about the endocannabinoid system, you guys. I mean, Morgan's a nurse, so she's very sciencey. I knew none of that. So that's been really, really fun for me to learn about. So Google it, hop off on this and Google it, and then shoot us a message with your questions for sure.
Okay. Someone asked, can you re-explain the broad and full spectrum? So, okay. So full spectrum is, think of the entire full hemp plant. And within that has the THC, the legal amount of THC in it. So you're getting the entire full benefit of the hemp plant with the legal amount of the 0.03% THC. Okay. So like as a company, we are never going to tell you, hey, you're good to go on drug tests, you know? So you've got to feel good about taking the full spectrum with THC in it, but you will not have any psychoactive effects. It's such a low dose of THC, you won't experience any of that. Your broad spectrum oil is going to be the entire benefit of the hemp plant with the THC extracted. Okay, so you're getting all the same compounds except for the THC. And we have a broad spectrum oil, and then we also have the broad spectrum jellies. So that's the difference between those. I'll be honest with you, out of all of my customers, I don't really have a lot of people on the isolate, which is, you know, the third one. Most of them, if they're worried about, you know, not wanting to take the THC, they just take the broad spectrum.
Okay, I have a question. This is Stacy. I was wondering if you're new to CBD oils and you want to try the product out, but you're a little nervous to maybe get started, and you're looking at, you know, Green Compass, and you're like, what product should I use that I want to try for, you know, 30 days to see if I get results from and see how I feel? What would you recommend?
So you're basically saying, like, biggest bang for your buck, what do you feel like people probably see like a little bit more of instant gratification from? Is that kind of what you're?
Yeah, like,
Okay.
you know, you never tried CBD oils, but you're open to it because you're curious on how it would make your body feel and, you know, your everyday life, and open to it. But yes, like what your best bang for your buck, and not, you know, get a kit just because you're a little bit hesitant about the oils to begin with.
Yeah, so we always tell people, if you can take the full spectrum with the THC, then do it. We always tell people that. However, I will tell you, I mean, this is my own personal opinion, that majority of my customers are on the nano jellies. And they're broad spectrum, they don't have the THC in them. I will tell you that a lot of them see a little bit more instant gratification with those. And I think it's just because of the nano size, you know, CBD. But they also take them, you know, they might take a jelly in the morning and they might take the full spectrum oil at night. But it also comes down to when you are trying to figure out what you want to take, it comes down to preference, whether some people just are texture, right? Like they don't like the taste of jellies, or they don't like oils. So then it comes down to like trying to figure out with your customer, or if you're trying it for the first time, is it something that I can really absorb under my tongue, or is it something that I can consume with the jelly? But from my personal experience and from my customers, a lot of them really love the nano jellies. And then secondly, it would probably be the full spectrum oil in comparison to the broad spectrum oil.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Morgan.
Uh-huh. And I think someone asked too what I had mentioned about with the cholesterol. So the nano jellies, the elderberry and the mushroom combination, the mushrooms are heart healthy and they lower your bad cholesterol. So I personally have to take Lipitor myself. And so I'm hoping that taking these jellies, because my bad cholesterol is only like 10 points over, but I'm hoping by taking this, I can go get my blood track and check to see if it's lowered my LDL. But yep, so just the nano jellies, the elderberry mushroom ones are what, you know, are heart healthy. Anyone else? All righty. Well, thank you guys for jumping on. And if you have any more questions, just, you know, talk to the advocate that invited you there. We love to do 3-way calls, 3-way chats on Facebook, Instagram. And we are completely open books and transparent. So please ask us anything and everything. And thank you so much for joining us on a Sunday night.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Bye.